get right from the font of the book bullshit. Go right to the Guardian. By the way, an AI I do recommend, and I use it quite a lot, is Grok on X on Twitter. Right, fantastic. Right, genuinely fantastic. Fine, where we up to? Rusty Danger, gay society in greatest danger I ever seen after Trump win. Well, the trouble is this, Russell. Nobody has a problem with LBG, right? No, really, nobody has a problem with any of that. It's the TQIA plus, right? And we have nobody has any problem with TQIA plus between consenting adults and private. We do have a problem with it being public, right? I mean, that's it being moved into public spaces. It's kink, Russell. That's the bottom line. It's kink. It's not your right to display your kinks publicly, right? That's something that should be private, right? And I understand you have this, I think, insane belief that if you can define yourself to be female, if you're a male, right? I think that is an insane belief. But I'll tell you what is going to happen. That gay marriage is going to go bye-bye because of this. I'm becoming more and more convinced of that now. Because the thing is this, Russell, the more you try and tie in the TQIA plus to the LBG, the more people, it's like they don't want the TQIA plus, right? They're done with it, right? They're done with it. Yeah, I'll give you an example of the weirdness we're done with. It's actually a new clip. Where'd it go? Did I not download it? Oh, wait a second. It didn't hit. 1 second. It was from Libs of TikTok, I think. Yeah, we'll try this. Libs of TikTok. I guess there's so much perversion I can download for this. Wait. Fort Myers City Council member hold hands and cry after being asked to authorize law enforcement cooperate with ICE. This seems totally. This is all insane. They're all insane. They're all bonkers, make bonkers. I hit. Is this it? Copy video address. Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. Here we go. Save video and. Right, because this is where look. This is essentially why Donald Trump won. It's because we've been sold narratives that were clearly false, and people are saying, no, the reality is not that, right? Yeah.
Other instance in our school district, a couple years ago now, but a boy dressed as a girl and decided to use the girls' locker room. And girls were changing in the locker room, and in the middle of changing, a boy walks in, and because he identified as a girl. And the girls were like, what the heck is going on? They went to the principal. Principal basically had said, girls, you're the, you need to be more sensitive. You need to be more understanding and sympathetic.
Yeah. No. We don't, again, I understand this is like your real deep, abiding religious worldview. I get that, Russell. I understand that, right? But it's still, it's you're imposing your religion on everybody. No, women, generally speaking, don't want other women with penises around them when they're naked, right? They're not up for that.
So they said if you wanted to dress in privacy, we can give you a little dressing tent.
We can give you.
Yes. So everybody has to be accommodated, or they're accommodating this boy who wants to pretend
who has male genitalia.
Yes.
Okay.
100%.
I just like this is it's happening.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So Russell, this is kink coming into mainstream, and people don't want it in the mainstream. And if you tie the gay world to this, you're gonna hurt the gay world. And I do think you've already irreparably hurt it. I do think gay marriage is gonna be. I think it's gonna be. Look, England's a lost case. I don't know what you're gonna do in England, but like they're just gonna be like a backward. You know how you looked at France and Europe as like being burnt to the ground by immigrants, and you go, oh, thank God that's not here, right? And now it's now they're here. It's too late. I mean, what's it? Conor McGregor gave this great speech about how Ireland's going to be lost. And Ireland is going to be lost. Ireland is actively, they're trying to destroy it, right? The weird leftists. I mean, when I say leftists, I think they're more Nazis, right? Nazis are national socialists. These people are globalist socialists, right? Yeah, bad news. So anyway, yeah. People are weird, done with this sick, weird shit, Russell, right? You've attacked the whole rest of the world with your insanity, right? And we kept telling you to stop, right? No. And you kept screaming and screaming and screaming and screaming. And I'm sorry, Russell. I mean, like, you fucked Doctor Who in the arse with it, and I know you think it's probably a good thing. No. It's the Doctor Who writer says he feels a wave of anger heading towards us. It's more frustration, right? It's more frustration. Like, you bullied us for years. You got to understand, Russell. Your queer world has bullied. It has had their boot on the neck of the rest of the world for, I don't know, 10 years more. So, and the thing is, because generally speaking, the rest of the world are better people than you in the queer world, right? And you become better people by having children, by marrying, right? By extending yourself to others, right? It doesn't seem like, I mean, look, marriage seems to be something that you toyed with a few years until your husband died, unfortunately. Right, but like, I don't know, like being your age and out in gay clubs, like out in clubs in general, it's like you should be over that by now, right? You shouldn't be living like a 19-year-old anymore, right? And it's sad that you are. I mean, really, that's the bottom line. I think it's sad that he's still trying to live like a 19-year-old. But here's the thing, again, just what consenting adults do in private is fine. Right? There's no wave of anger. We're just saying no more. We're not going to, and when I say we, the vast majority of the world are not going to pretend that men are women anymore because you don't like it, because you want to believe they are. All right. Russell Davies said the gay society is the greatest angel I've ever seen. Ever since you attached them to the TQIA plus. Yeah, that might be a mistake. Since the election of Donald Trump as US president in November. And it's not his election, it was his overwhelming election, right? It was that he won a landslide. He won a huge, huge mandate, right? There was I mean, this is the craziest thing. Whilst, was it last week? And again, the crazies like Russell Day was freaking out about it. There was, they have this deal with, not Nicaragua, some South American country, that they will take their violent criminal aliens and put them in prison there, right? El Salvador, I think. And so there were 3 flights of them heading out, military flights, heading to El Salvador. A lower court judge, an insane lower court judge, ordered the flights to be turned around and returned without actually giving a written order. Right, I'm like, no. It's just there's so much insanity, right? There is so much. Like, this local judge, he has the same power as probably one of the most populist presidents in our lifetime. Was he more popular than Barack Obama? Probably, I think. But I think he will be. But just coming in. And by the way, do you remember like 2 weeks ago the screaming at the price of eggs haven't come down? No, the price of eggs are halved. The story's gone. Nobody can think about it anymore. So anyway, yeah, look, Russell. Donald Trump won because we are sick and tired of you forcing your beliefs into the mainstream and making it part of the mainstream, right? There was a lengthy fight to remove Christian doctrine from and I don't think for the better, quite frankly, from mainstream culture, from the mainstream society. Like, oh no, you can't push your religion on anyone, right? You know, I wouldn't be on board for an overtly Christian Doctor Who. I think that would be very exclusionary to most other people who aren't Christian, right? I love something like Kinder, right? Which is, it takes really great Buddhist ideas, really interesting Buddhist ideas, and Snake Dance, and then uses them to spin a narrative. That's like totally different. That really was. That's fantastic. You just are running around saying women with penises are super duper women, and the fate of the universe depends on that. Then that's how you're going to stop this cuddly bear monster. And like, it's so stupid. Anyway, speaking of the Guardian at the Gagio Pride Awards, Gagio Pride in Manchester on Friday, the Doctor Who screenwriter said the rising hostility was not limited to the US, but it's here now as well. That's the thing. We feel entitled to say, I don't think that I lost my train of thought. Totally lost my. So the Gay Pride in Manchester. People are entitled to say, I don't think women with penises are women. I know you do, but I don't, and I think that's a very minority view, right? It's not anger; it's just people are denying, not sharing your reality. I deny this reality, right? That's really what it is, right? No one's saying don't cross-dress. Do it to your heart's content, right? No one's saying don't be gay, right? No one's saying let's take away rights from transgender people or gay people, right? That is going to happen, right? I have to tell you, I think gay marriage is going out exactly because of this. As a gay man, I feel a wave of anger and violence. What violence? Excuse me. Violence is you progressives, right? You like to pretend take this narrative that, the right wing are so violent. You're the violent fucking ones. Look, you setting fire to every Tesla you can fucking find, right? You're relentlessly violent, right? Riot, fucking riot. I mean, take January 6th, the thing that you want to say proves you're right about everything, but don't take it too closely because then it all falls apart, right? Look at the violence there. Look at the violence in any leftist riot, right? It's not even close. You fucked up weirdo leftists are the violent ones, right? There's no anger, there's no violence coming towards you. And we resent you taking fucking over the entire of the public space. I resent you making queerness a cornerstone of Doctor Who, right? It was such a stupid idea. I really resent you doing that. Yes. Maybe don't be a fucking dick. Don't be a bully. Right? Don't be a moron. Don't put your beliefs above everybody else's, right? Try and understand who you are and compared to everybody else, which is we're all equal, baby, right? There's no violence heading towards you. No anger, irritation, resentment, really, heading towards on vast scale. Well, here's what's going to happen. Men with penises are not going to be allowed in women's spaces in most civilized countries in the world, right? England has tripled down on being the wokest fucking place in the universe, right? England, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, they're fighting it out. They're having a pussy off. See who can be the biggest pussies in the history of humanity, right? And England's doing pretty darn well. Let me tell you, you got that greasy, slimy pussy, Keir Starmer, as your pussy in chief. That's a pretty slimy little pussy right there. I'm not being alarmist, he added. Yes, you are. I'm 61 years old. That's also true. I know gay society very, very well. Maybe you want to back off from it a little bit. And we're in the greatest danger I've ever seen. Yes. The lifestyle as the very openly promiscuous lifestyles represented in the first episode, It's a Sin, will probably become something that can't happen in the future. Right? Again, because you've demanded to take away everybody's rights so you can have your rights, right? And you've destroyed the public space with your relentless weirdness. Since its inauguration, Trump has ended policies giving LGBTQ plus Americans protection from discrimination. What discrimination, right? He also restricted access to gender-affirming care Yeah, well, it's saying that you could, if you're a child, we're not going to let you amputate your cock and balls. I understand. I think that's a good thing. The vast majority of the world thinks that's a very good thing. The vast majority of the world thinks you're disgusting barbarians, like that would allow a child to sterilize themselves, to fit in with a fad, to make people like Georgia Tennant feel like she's a good person. Ugh, disgusting. So the US would only recognize two sexes. There only are two sexes, according to most people. Ban transgender people from enlisting in the military. Yes, they don't fucking want you there. Right? They don't fucking want you there. Like, why do you have to be everywhere all the time? It's because you don't really believe your own bullshit. I mean, is the reason, right? It's that you need all this validation because you know that chicks with dicks are blow. I mean, listen, I get that. If I hate to bring science into it, right? But I will, right? I will. We've got a very relevant scientific study has been quoted over here. I save it as a clip because here it is because it's complicated.
Oh, there are no chicks with dicks, Johnny. Only guys with tits.
I like that has Oriental subtitles as well. Davies also used a keynote speech at the award ceremony. Okay, stop speaking. Which rewards the efforts made to improve the lives of LGBTQ plus people in the UK. You're making it worse for them around the world. To criticize Trump and the president's allies, Donald Trump here. I think I've got this. Again, the insanity around Elon Musk is more than the insanity around Donald Trump, if you can imagine such a thing.
Bad prime ministers and we've had bad presidents before. What we've never
You're standing in a place called Gadio.
had is a billionaire tech baron, unelected.
Unelected. Again, dude, wait a second. Let me show you one of the unelected people you had no problem with, right? You had absolutely no problem with this unelected bloke, which I showed you earlier, right? People that don't trust Elon Musk had this dude in charge of their nuclear waste. You don't have much to say, right? And that guy, he was fired because not only would he dress up like a fucking weirdo, right? He would steal clothes to do it, right? These are all stolen dresses. It's disgusting, right? And I'm sorry, but everyone's done with this king. And also, look at this. Jill Biden attending cabinet meeting. She's probably one who did the pardons. Oh my God, so great. Elon Musk is in cabinet meeting. He's unelected! I mean, it's like... what was that movie? The Manchurian Candidate? I'm talking about the remake, which had what was his name in it? I can't remember, but they're all saying the same thing over and over again. They'd be brainwashed, and like it's the same thing. Unelected, and again, you don't mind billionaires when they're George Soros pumping money into queer causes around the world. I'm sorry. Look, Russell. Here's the thing you need to understand. That here one right?
Hating his trans.
Okay, no, we don't. He doesn't hate his trans daughter, right? We feel that this mass formation psychosis, right, is Lonnie just says, "I'm here." He spelled it here, and he says, "Oh no, I'm here." Hey, you doing, Lonnie? Thank you for joining us. Is tearing society apart and destroying your children, right? We don't want to encourage sterility, and we certainly don't want to medically create it and enforce it in children, right? So I don't know why you can't understand this, Russell, right? But people are done with all this weird shit. He doesn't hate his trans daughter. He thinks his daughter is mentally ill and hates him. Right,
and therefore recognizing all of his power against us. We have never had this in the history of the world.
Okay, no one's coming against gay people. We're just saying people with penises are blokes. That's literally it, Russell. Right? Are you being a bit of a drama queen? You think maybe? I don't know. That would be crazy talk, wouldn't it?
It is terrifying because he and the people like him are in control of the facts. They're in control of information. They're in control of what people think.
Yes, and you used to be, and the reason you're not in control of that anymore is because you filled it with absolute bollocks constantly. Right? You lied and lied and lied and lied to us and served us shit sandwich after shit sandwich. Oh, Joe Biden, he's sharp as a tack. The economy's better than ever. Everything's fantastic. Oh, look, here's space babies. Fuck you. Fuck you and the horse you fucking rode in on. Fuck you, gauge awards. Fuck. I'm like, really? No one's hating you. We're just saying, shut the fuck up and leave us alone. That's not hate. That's just to stop forcing your fucking weirdo beliefs onto everybody else. The same way you wouldn't want Christianity forced on you. You wouldn't want Judaism forced on you. You wouldn't want atheism forced on you. You know, let everybody live their own lives. How about that for plan?
That is what we're now facing. But do you know what we'll do? Do you know what we always do in time?
Yeah, no, this time you are absolutely going to fail, right? You are absolutely, because again, you're not in peril. The gay world is not in peril, right? What's in peril is is trans insanity, and the more that you tie yourself to the sexual weirdo degenerates, right? The more people will not be on your board, not be on board, and like I think it's evidenced mostly by you have this belief that the more representation will get more acceptance. No, that the opposite is happening. As I kept telling you it would, Russell, right? The absolute opposite is going down, right? Times of peril. Yeah, this is a fight you're not going to win because you're literally trying to hurt our children.
Times of peril and crisis. We gather. And we meet in cellars at night and we talk.
Yeah, okay, in between fucking each other in clubs. I understand that. And you met in cellars and you plotted and you got yourself onto PTAs everywhere. And you got this degeneracy going through every strata of society. And people have finally said enough. And when I say degeneracy, I'm not talking about same-sex fucking relations. I'm talking about like weird gay bikers and whatever other shit you have in the middle of the street, right? Like the loss of any idea of public fucking decency. Oh, so you plot. Yeah, you can plot and you can plot. You're fucked up, mate, right? It's not going to work. In England, you probably got it, right? But again, nobody wants to fucking hear it. Look at the ratings of Doctor Who, right? No one's interested in queer fucking Doctor Who. Like, literally nobody. I mean, who's interested in queer Doctor Who? Queer people. And that's it. Not even, I didn't say gay people. Queer people, right? And there's not that fucking many of them. Oh, so you meet and you plot. What else are you going to do, Russell?
And we plot, and we sing, and we paint, and we manifest ideas. We go on marches. We go on sponsor. We do signatures. We attack. We talk to politicians. We organize us.
Yeah, but the thing is, you don't listen to anyone. And again, the central complaint is, the central point is nobody wants to end same-sex relations in the world. They do want to have public decency, right? And women want protected spaces. Women fought hard for protected spaces. By the way, little Doctor Who aside, let me pull this up because this is really oh god, it's going to take forever because it's Big Finish. I don't know, the Big Finish website just takes forever now. But there is, if you want to talk about the women's struggle for rights and equality, there is a Doctor Who story that I can't recommend strongly enough. Yeah, we'll carry on playing this, or we'll give it a second to open up.
In the end, what we do is we educate. We take everything we know and we go out there and we educate.
Yeah, and how's that working out for you, Russell? Right? How's that working out? Errors say you're full of shit. Here we go. Doink. It is $5. Money well spent in my mind. Doink. $5.18. I think it's a 2-disc set. I mean, not this disc anymore. Yeah. Who wrote this? Jacqueline Rayner. This is a tour de force, right? This is basically this malevolent alien entity intersecting with Vicky and Stephen in around the suffrage movement. It is fabulous beyond fabulous. I mean, it is so good. Totally one of the best things they've done, right? So that, and again, yeah, women want their rights back. Russell, I'm sorry. Elon Musk, oh, he's a man. I think there's a dark time beyond all measure, beyond anything I've seen in my lifetime. Yes, because again, you kept screaming at us that chicks with dicks are women. They're not. And I don't care how many Big Finish plays you have with chicks with fucking dicks. It's not going to make chicks with dicks actually chicks, right? Unless it's some kind of weird toy maker realm. He told the audience, including the singer Louise Kednap, well, it's really Kednap and KTB, and the Traitors contestants Lenny Quigley and Mina. Who gives a shit? Davies says he turned Davies had said he had turned 18 and left home in 81. That's exactly, and that is exactly the year that the rumors of a widespread new virus came along. Yeah, and it was real, right? And which came to haunt our community and test us in many ways. And look, were you fucked over by the Christians and the religious, whatever, over AIDS? Yes. No one's denying that, mate. No one's, but you got to move on. You have become the oppressor, right? The joy thing, we fought back. The community militarized campaign, and you stopped having sex without condoms. Right, that's essentially what happened. March and we demanded the medicine, and also look, you had a very just claim. Why are you being cheated as shit just because you like to sleep with the same sex? Right, it's a very, very reasonable claim. Right, it's totally legal in our society. There should be no taboo with it whatsoever. Well, why? Yeah, so that's reasonable claims always get backed up. Telling women, little girls, they got to get in changing rooms with chicks with dicks. Not so much, right? And I know BBC are obsessed with normalizing trans, right? Normalizing drag queens. Like, no one's saying don't exist. We're just saying don't be omnipresent, not omnipotent. Fine. The joy thing we thought about medicine. We demanded the science. We demanded access. When he wrote Queer as Folk in the late 90s, it was part of the movement with writers fomenting ideas and putting gay and lesbian characters on the screen. Again, I had no problem with that, right? Especially Queer as Folk. As a queer drama, it's fine, right? But then you've got to make everything queer, right? Folk is queer. But yeah, I mean, like, again, I think that was a worthwhile thing, and it did well, right? I don't also imagine that then what life of the LGBTQ plus. There wasn't a TQ plus then. It was LGB then. People would be in 25. I want to say it's all going to be it's going to be all rainbows. Well, it was in 2024. Fucking rainbows, fucking everywhere, making everybody sick. I'm sorry. Skipping down the street, hand in hand, equality. You got total equality. In fact, you have supremacy, which is what you're complaining about. But the peril the peril the gay community now face, he said, is far greater than one in the 1980s. Yes, because now you're being dicks, right? You're the one who's saying we gotta agree that chicks with dicks are chicks. We don't, right? You gotta get over it, mate. We don't. And again, I'm very friendly with lots of Christians, right? They think I killed their God. I don't know. I can't say this in any broader terms. I think, Christians may have done a crusade or two, right? I don't want to point fingers, right? But we all get on. I really have nothing but respect for Christians today. Oh, man, they really are leading the forefront in embracing God, embracing God's will. I really love Christians. All right, they genuinely. When I see people like Charlie Kirk and even Candace Owens, who's massively anti-Semitic, right? Their strength of their faith genuinely uplifts. As a person of faith, genuinely uplifts me, right? Fine, so we that threat from America is something like the Lord of the Rings. It's like an evil rising in the West, and it's evil, Davies said. Again, people are bored. People are sick of their children being exposed to filth. All right? And then if it's not coming from the rainbow crowd, it's coming from your good allies, the Muslims, who won't vote for you if you mention how they have gangs of people who like to rape white girls. Right? Listen, there's never been something that says you should lose your vote more than saying, if you stop gangs of my community trying raping white girls, I won't vote for you. Right? Everybody should lose their vote at that point. So it's not okay. It's not evil to say women deserve rights, and I know you believe so strongly that women with penises are penises. Women with penises are women. They're also penises. But that's your belief. I'm not saying they don't exist. I'm saying I don't agree what they are. Right? You know, and it's great that they believe that they are, but I'm not saying that, right? We've had bad prime ministers and bad presidents before. Well, we never had a billionaire tech man openly hating his trans daughter. He doesn't openly hate her, and he's a boy. Right? I tell you. Mustard, de facto head of the Department of the Government of Efficiency, bought the social networking site Twitter and renamed it X. A study in the University of California, Berkeley, found that hate speech on the platform rose 50% in a month after it was bought by the billionaire. Again, this has been debunked so many times. One second. Let me see if I can find it. Elon Musk, BBC interviewer, hate speech. It's one of the greatest takedowns I've ever seen. Is this it? Oh, here it is. This is posted by The Independent. It's called "The Excruciating Moment Elon Musk turns the tables on BBC interview over hate tweets." Again, they just lie about everything. Again, it's just a genuinely a relentless hunt for validation.
People very recently who were involved in moderation, and they just say there's not enough people to police this stuff, particularly around hate speech in the company. Is that something that you want to address?
Talking about? I mean, you use Twitter,
right?
Do you see a rise in hate speech?
I mean,
but just a personal anecdote, like what do you? I don't.
Personally, for you, I would see I get more of that kind of content. Yeah, personally.
That's why I'm asking for examples.
Right?
Can you name one?
Yeah, full of shit, mate. Full of shit.
Example.
I honestly don't use. Honestly, I don't.
Can't name a single example.
I'll tell you why. Because I don't actually use that for you feed anymore. Because I just don't particularly like it.
Yeah. See, look, he's squirming. He's lying through his fucking teeth.
Look at my followers.
You said you've seen more hateful content, but you can't name a single example, not even one.
I'm not sure I've used that feed for the last 3 or 4 weeks, and
how did you see the hateful content?
Because I've been using Twitter since you've taken it over for the last 6 months.
Okay, so then you must have at some point seen that for you hateful content. I'm asking.
I mean, like, really, it's kind of a checkmate. Either you don't use Twitter that much, right, and therefore that's why you don't. Then therefore you don't see hateful content, or you do use Twitter and you do see hateful content. Which one is it, right? Which one is it?
One example.
Right.
You can't give a single one.
And I'm saying...
I say, sir, that you don't know what you're talking about.
Really?
Yes, because you can't give me a single example of hateful content, not even one tweet.
This is just brilliant. Again, it just shows you how they relentlessly lie.
You claimed that the hateful content was high.
Well...
That's false. People will say all sorts of nonsense. I'm literally asking for a single example, and you can't name one.
Right, and as I already said, I don't use that feed. But
then you don't see it then. If you don't use the feed, then you don't see it. Then you lied initially. He's got you. He's smarter than you, you fucking moron. I mean, you should at least know when you've been beaten.
And then how did you know that?
I don't think this is getting anywhere.
You literally said you experienced more hateful content, and then couldn't name a single example.
Right, and as I said,
that's absurd.
I haven't actually looked at that feed.
Then how would you know there's hateful content?
Because I'm saying that's what I saw a few weeks ago. I can't give you
So what would you see it for? You can't give an exact example. Anything?
an exact example. Let's move on. We only have a certain amount of time.
Let's move on.
COVID misinformation.
Yes, such a lie. Here's this is a video doing roughly the same thing. I tried to play it before, but it was had the wrong audio. Let's see if this works.
Between good and evil seems to be.
Yeah, this is fascinating. You want to see how people lie? This is absolutely fascinating. Yeah.
Okay. Hi, Charlie. How are you? Good. Okay.
Now, obviously, a gay gentleman. I mean, not Charlie Kirk. Well, obviously, a gay guy. And he's gonna you're gonna hear about the violence that and the threats that he's endured.
Okay, so I'm gonna give a little bit of a backstory on myself. I'm Jaden Clark. I'm a student here. Freshman year, I was hate crime 5 times in one night. Okay, 3 of them by Trump supporters.
What happened to you?
Okay, for one of them, I was just walking, and then I see this truck full of 4 white men pass by me, MAGA apparel, everything, you know. And then...
Did they say this is MAGA country?
Yeah, he's referring to Jason Smith because he knows instantly this guy's full of shit.
Anyways, they drove past me, and they were like, "F you, nigger, bend over quick."
Okay, so they said the N-word on campus to you?
Well, yes.
Oh, yeah? Okay, so what happened to them when you reported them?
I didn't report them.
Oh, really? Okay, so maybe it didn't happen.
Okay, anyways.
I don't believe you. I'm being honest, I don't believe you. Okay. I think you're making...
Exactly. They lie for validation constantly. When I say lie, I'm obviously not talking about black people. Oh, God. Yeah, it's so fucked up. It's so convoluted. You got to think, how things are going to be taken out of context, right? People with this ideology, like Russ D. Davis, right? He relies on lies relentlessly. And now the lies are being falling apart. He's saying he's under attack.
Picking it up.
Okay. Anyways.
I refuse to believe that somebody on this campus would go around and sheepishly call you the N-word. I refuse to believe that. I think you're lying.
Anyways, next instance, they threatened to rape me and then just drove off.
Hold on. So a bunch of Trump guys who are largely white heterosexual males then also threatened to rape you?
Different group of people, but yes.
A different group of white guys. In fact, this guy is something like, really? We all know you're lying at this point.
All in one night?
Nice, sir.
I think you're making this up.
Okay, that's fine.
But what evidence do you have for this? Do you have like corroborating witnesses? Do you have cameras? Do you have license plate numbers? Because now we're talking about crimes. Threatening to rape you is an intent of a crime. Did you go to the police? You file a police report? You hire an attorney? You sue the school? Did you go to the civil rights office? Do you file a civil rights complaint? Did you do any of that? Because you should.
Okay.
No, did you? Tell me. Yes or no?
I did not. But
why?
I'm not going to argue with you.
No, but you're coming in front of 2,000 people to say it. Why did you not go to the university and say this happened?
Okay, because how would I report them?
Anyone. There's hotlines all over this campus. You guys have nothing but like, if something happens to you, I think you're making this up. I think you're doing this to try to make a point.
Okay. Well,
I don't think there's any evidence.
I can promise you, God as my witness, I am not. Anyways.
No, but I don't think he really believes in God.
But seriously, why don't you today commit? Let's do this. I'm going to show you the university official, and why don't you go file a Department of Education complaint, and let's find these terrible people that did this to you. Can we agree?
Okay.
Okay.
I'll think about
and by the way, we'll be able to look at security camera footage, and we'll see.
Okay, I'll think about that.
But you didn't do that.
Can I try to finish?
You'll think about it. Hold on. Why wouldn't you want to do that immediately?
Can I talk?
No, but you're making a serious accusation. Please,
And I'm not going to argue with you about my personal experiences. Anyways.
It didn't happen, man.
Okay, that's cool. Anyways, I feel like every time I step foot on this campus.
Hey, that goes on and on and on. But his closing statement about it, I think, is really, really powerful.
But
what about loving your neighbor?
Just so you know, this is going to become a very big issue. We're going to put this on social media because nowhere in America should you be allowed to go in front of a microphone with no evidence, no willingness to report, no likelihood to talk to police and say, oh, this happened to be at night, and ruin the reputation of half the country and say that they wanted to go me and call me the N-word. That is gross.
Okay. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. You'll be hearing from a lot of institutions, and if you did indeed lie, you will be civilly liable for smearing this university publicly for a very big number. We'll find out if you're telling the truth.
Oh, Oh, God. Okay. I just mentioned how much I like Charlie Kirk, right? He's all what. So, Russell, your side lies all the time about violence coming. There's no fucking violence, right? Yeah, a rise in hate speech. Nonsense. Absolute nonsense. We have never had this in Israel. It's terrifying because he and a lot of people like him are in control of the facts. Finally, at last. Right, and now we have the temerity to say that women with penises are fat men. Right, it's like this shouldn't be as big a deal as you're making it. This really shouldn't be the big deal that you're making it, mate. You can say yes, I understand. Most people think that, but I believe that they are, chicks with dicks are in fact chicks. That's totally 100% what I believe. So far, it's just the thing we already heard. What would we do in Elon Musk world that we're heading towards is that what us has always done. We meet in cellars and plot. Again, you don't have to. No one's surprised. We're just saying the mainstream belief that women have penises is now over. I'm sorry it was so insanely important to you, right? Yeah, but that's been. I'm sorry it was so insanely important to you. Star Hoovian commented on this. I get Star Hoovian. I recommend him on Twitter all the time. Rusty Davies is terrified that the world is waking up to the fact there are only two genders and trans women aren't women. We plot, we go on marches, we attack. It's not going to work out so well. But again, look, we've got a whole generation balled up with this babbling batshit insanity. I mean, it's really the only way I can describe it. So we got this guy, Doctor Who Production News. Now, obviously, he's a younger chap. And look, firstly, the work that this account does to put pictures online of the location footage is fantastic. I assumed I was going to love this era of Doctor Who. I didn't realize that it was going to be queer shit, but I was wondering. But he does a lot of good work. He seems like a really decent guy to me, right? He seems like a really decent, nice person. But he's also seen captured by this ideology that Rusty Davies is espousing it. Rusty Davies accepting the Gaydo Pride Award. Again, that you God's ankle Gaydio. Isn't that an indication that the gay thing is just over the top at this point? Right? I think times are darkening beyond all measure and beyond anything I've seen in my lifetime. Yes, we're saying that chicks with dicks are in fact blokes. That's it. No concentration camps. The threat from America is like something in Lord of the Rings. And he's right. It is gonna. But it's instead of being a Sauron, it's more like when Gandalf turned up at the Twin Towers. Right? The sunrise came over as he charged towards was it Helm's Deep? Right. Oh, do I have that on? I don't have that on file. But what? 1 second. Okay. Now I got to go and look this up. 1 second. It was Twin Towers. Gandalf arrives. Here we go. Man, this was a good movie. Doink. Here it comes. Theodon Rise. Is it? I thought this was hang on 1 second. Video file. Hope this is the right clip. Lord of the Rings. Fuck. Yeah, it's definitely Helm's Deep, right? And I love the way they made it like just so incredibly desperate, right? Okay, Theodon rides out. Oh, here it is. Right, this is what it's like. Okay, this is what Donald Trump and it is like. If I was more talented, I'd put a Trump head on him.
Theoden King stands alone, not alone. Go hit him!
I forgot how fucking good this is. It's so awesome. Yeah, this shot is incredible. I I wish I knew and loved it enough to appreciate it. Because I understand this is a pretty much beautiful recreation, very accurate of the work. Yeah, you see again the sun is rising, coming with right. It's awesome. Yeah, so if you got a go and gather a Lord of the Rings analogy there, Russell, I would say, that's the one. That's the run. So he says, it's been my experience that people choose to watch shows that they are interested in the content and not for the politics of the writers. Yeah, but he puts his politics all the way through a show. He's not writing about dark times in the US. The president is... he's not wrong about the dark times of the USA. What I would love to know what exactly you're talking about. The president is systematically dismantling all potential opposition to a dictatorship. No, you just think that because you're young and you've been brought up in this batshit insanity, which is now being taken apart. And here's the thing. The people who are going to be fucked over the most, like if Keir Starmer, I think if Keir Starmer and Labour are never opposed, you are fucked over to living a much shittier lifestyle, right? That's really the bottom line, right? If Kamala Harris won, your generation, Mr. Production News, right? You're the one that's going to have your lifestyle made a lot worse. And you're not, instead of living in a house, you're going to live in a trailer park, or you're going to live in a series of cargo containers stacked on top of each other, right? You're going to live in a more Mad Maxian, shittier world. Right, the world that you live in now, most people my age are going, holy fuck, how do things get so bad? We want you to have a better life and a better world to live in, because the world you got right now is completely shitty because of the politics of Russell T Davies, right? And because of the insanity that he's tried to normalize, right? That you can't take apart society in this way without it working. So Dan comes in very correctly, says he's completely wrong and embarrassment. He is. If he's going to be critical of American administration, Americans voting for Trump, he might as well hold back his grimace after the season's been shown. Very good point, Tardis Travels. You think he should be self-centered to accommodate the current political climate in the USA? Disney is. Yeah, he doesn't do that, nor should he expect it to. Again, when the political climate is, we want you to stop sterilizing children, then yes, you shouldn't be opposing that, right? Since when has any Doctor Who producer been political other than Russell T Davies? Well, yeah, Chibnall, I guess. Perhaps we should have waited until season 2 aired, and then he could have got off his chest. But he knows season 2 is dead in the water. He knows there's no season 3. He knows it's over. Right? It's not gonna hurt him anyway because it's fucked in the ass. If I may quote Game of Thrones, he's been fuck you bloody. He needn't self-censor. No one outside of fandom will hear this. I mean, has anyone heard of JDO? Not until now. But there's an argument Russell Davies is talking complete bollocks and speaking irresponsibly. It could be, it could affect the brand. It is going to, yes, it will affect the brand badly, right? But again, the damage is done. I don't think there's much you can do about it. Which depends on whether the mainstream give it coverage, and not really. I think it's done, right? I think it's done. Matt Powers, all he knows is victimhood. It defines him. Far leftists have started, when you say there's only two genders and trans women aren't women, yeah, they freak out. But then, so we have that going on. And then on the front page of Doctor Who website, fantastic, the joy and power of enjoying Doctor Who together. I don't want to be together with people. Okay, I'm not opposing their rights to be gay, be trans, be whatever they want. I am saying, why is this mainstream? Why is this sexual kink mainstream? Nobody wants it mainstream, right? Frankly, it looks like it's shit as well. I understand. Oh, yeah, they love a bit of drag. Most people don't. Most people don't. Most people don't give a fuck about drag. Take a trip through the past 20 years of Doctor Who and beyond with writer Rhys Connolly shares the importance of fandom. Rhys Connolly is a performer and writer from the northeast of England, currently living in London. They're a lifelong geek and a supermassive Doctor Who fan. And 21, they co-produced and hosted the Gallifrey Cabaret, a variety show that celebrates LGBTQ plus representation across the Whoniverse. Their favorite Doctor is all of them. I love that they like Doctor Who. Don't get me wrong. They can love Doctor Who. But like by putting this sexual kink as the center point of the show, again, it's exactly what I said. You can't have a queer show without it becoming predominantly queer, right? If you have a show about a queer barber, it's about him being queer. A show about a queer doctor, it's about him being queer. You have a show about a queer Doctor Who, it's only about the queer. What can Christians enjoy this as well? No. Well, Muslims. I think there's some more. Whatever. There's some more about this. Volp. Is that a link to anything? I don't know. 1 second. Doink. And then, right, it's over here. Again, the normalization of this, and it didn't. And look, our bottom line, it failed. Right, the bottom line, the normalization of this absolutely failed because people are going, this isn't fucking normal, mate. Right, it's not. The world is slightly divided now. There's anger and uncertainty. I'm not angry. Neither am I uncertain. It's easy to feel scared and overwhelmed. Take time to hold on to the stuff that makes you feel good and safe. Chicks with dicks is not that, right? Which ties together instead of pushing us apart. As always, remember, you are not alone. Fine, let's all go read the Bible together instead. Let's do a Bible study class instead. You're up for that, are you? No! Of course you're fucking not. Oh, but Millie, I'm glad you popped in to tell us what for. Fantastic. The joy and power of enjoying Doctor Who together. And again, I'm happy for him to enjoy it. I really am. I don't, but like, and I'm happy for this to exist. But I am not happy for it to be mainstream because it's not mainstream. I mean, that's just the bottom fucking line. It is not mainstream. And the more you scream it is, the less it is. I'm sorry. Right? Look, I wish things could be, less messed up, right? Essentially. But they're not, right? They're not. Look, the gay world, the queer world, always a mistake to confuse them, has just pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed. And now the rest of the world is pushing back, essentially, right? Essentially. My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.